Pearson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge presents The Chimney Effect. With your host, Jeff, also known as El Jefe, Mike, also known as Big Smoke, and Lance, also known as Be More Smooth.
How's you guys' week been? I mean, I know this has been Super Bowl Sunday, and it was a great game. We watched it here at the shop.
Man,
what you guys think about the game?
it's been a good day, man. What I'll say is, first and foremost, let me just say pause, because you said it's real deep and woodsy. So
Okay.
I'm gonna start off there, but no, man, it's been a good year, man. Not a good year, but a good week, man. Had a good week. Got to spend a lot of time with my daughter, my son, and anytime I can come here and do this. Look, what else can I say? It's beautiful, man. What about you, Stu?
I thought the game was beautiful.
That's true. That's true.
It was.
That's true. That's true. It was a good game. I'm glad Big Red got his chip finally. Patrick Mahomes did his thing. Showed that he was a true superstar, especially when you're down 10 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And he came back and he showed that he's worth every penny that they're going to have to pay him.
Well, finances aside, he has shown that, actually, the Kansas City Chiefs have shown that they're Super Bowl caliber. They're champs in every way because all three games, in the previous two games before the Super Bowl, they were down at least 17 points. The first game, I believe they were down 20 plus.
20 plus.
Came
yeah.
back and won. I know they were down at least 17 against Tennessee, came back and won. Very, very impressed. And my hat's off to the Kansas City Chiefs. My cousin Kenny actually grew up in Kansas City. And up until a few years ago, he and my coworker were the only Kansas City Chief fans that I knew. But
What do you guys think about this cedar? I know we haven't had one in a while, but I smoke so many different things. I have a few Connecticut shades here, but going back to the beginning, this is a great brunch smoke. Sitting outside 11:30, something in the morning with a cup of coffee. It's really good in the afternoon. Might be too light for some people when they have a big dinner if they want something heavier. But I think that it's really, really consistent. It hasn't changed at all. So I think it's great. I really do. And on PearsonJeffries.com, you can pick up a 5-pack of these cedars at a 6.5 by 54 or a 6 by 60 for ranging anywhere from $8.50 to $10 per cigar. And if you mention Be More Smooth, if you come into the shop here, you can get a big discount on them. So you might want to try this if you're a beginner cigar smoker and you want something that's non-threatening, not heavy on the palate, but still gives you a good amount of nice woodsy taste, light flavor, easy to smoke. The draw is perfect. You definitely want to try the Cedar cigar. We missed a week of the podcast, but between the last time that we had the podcast, we had a very, very significant tragedy here in the United States. One of basketball's truly legends passed away in a horrific plane crash. We want to take our hats off to Mr. Kobe Bryant and wish him well on his next journey. You guys, I know, Stu, you're a big basketball fan.
I am.
And we were almost kind of here when we got the news.
Actually, I was on my way here from work. And my hats, first of all, my condolences to his family.
Yes.
Because he has a very, very young family. And I know he just had a newborn.
Yes.
And I believe you said it that day or the day after that. The only thing that his baby girl will ever know from her father is what she hears from other people, what she sees on TV.
Correct.
Which is something that you never wish a child to have to go through. To me, he's in my top 10 only because I've said it before. I believe he's a Michael Jordan clone. And once Michael cleared the way, he was able to take advantage of that. Just like if I'm listed my all-time greats, but we're in the Philadelphia area, and he grew up in the city. He was born in the city of Philadelphia. Raised a little bit overseas, and went to school right here in Delaware County.
He went to Lower Marion High, and he's a local hero in Lower Marion. They love him over there. He will truly be missed.
I'm sorry,
just retired.
Is that Montgomery County or Delaware County?
That is Montgomery County.
I apologize. Montgomery County, correct.
He's only been retired for 2 years. Didn't get a chance to wear his jacket, but I'm sure that they're going to make sure that he gets definitely straight into the Hall of Fame.
Definitely posthumously.
And again, I would also like to give my condolences to his family, and I wish them well.
That's a fact, man. For me, just thinking about that, it was one of those situations where, which I can honestly say I've never had a situation to where I was speechless.
Yes.
And when that happened, man, I was totally speechless. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I mean, even till to now, I can't even think of words to say that could accentuate or explain how I felt when that happened. And even, and I won't try to, because I still don't know what to say.
Well,
there's nothing you can say to make it better.
Not at all. I mean, it made everybody feel kind of numb.
Absolutely.
I think that's the word you were looking for.
Yeah.
Also because, we've seen the man grow up right in front of us on TV from 17 years old to all of his games, to the highlights, to the All-Stars, to his championships, to the good and the bad right here on TV. So it's almost like, he came into our living room every week during almost every day during the basketball season.
Yeah, during the
but
basketball
even
season,
off the basketball court, he was transitioning into a different life, basically. And it was just, again, one of the worst tragedies that you will probably ever have to experience as a spectator.
As a spectator, yeah.
Yes.
And outside of that, man, it was just, I mean, the guy had daughters, man. We all got daughters.
We all got daughters.
We all got daughters, man. The guy got daughters. Man, it's hard to put in words with any type of feeling to try to explain that, or try to explain how that just broke you. Like, and I won't. So like I said, I'm not going to try to put that into words, but it's definitely one of those things that just broke me. And when you called me, I texted you about it. You called me right after that, and I didn't even respond to your call because I just didn't know what to say. Like, it's like, it's fucking Kobe.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It was a very bad day.
Absolutely,
It really
man.
was. How do you like this cedar cigar?
I love it, man.
Yeah?
Through the bad, through the good. Love it.
Does it match well with your coffee?
Actually, man, the coffee is excellent.
Okay.
This one of the best. I ain't gonna lie. I was gonna ask you on the camera, but which have I not had this?
No, you haven't had the Bolivia coffee. It's a really
Everybody,
nice.
This is what this guy do. He always keep it for himself, and he drink good, smoke good. He'll never give it to us.
I've earned it. I have truly earned it.
But how y'all week been, man? Through the bad, man. How y'all week been, man?
Well, listen, again, man, it was, this is Super Bowl week.
Facts.
So, the big topic here at the shop has been the Super Bowl. And, it was one of the better Super Bowls I've seen in years. Really was.
2 years ago?
Well, 2 years ago, the Eagles did their thing.
Oh, shit.
Here we
go. Here we go.
And it was a great game.
Here we go.
And even to make it even better, they beat one of
Here we go.
one of my teams that's like,
Here we go.
in my opinion, they do nothing but cheat.
What do y'all think about the new rules for the Super Bowl, though? I mean, not the Super Bowl, but the All-Star game. Got All-Star week coming up. What do y'all think about the new rules?
I'm a
They paying 24 seconds for Kobe's daughter and his jersey. What do you think?
I think anything they can do to commemorate Kobe and his daughter, I'm
yeah.
good with.
You know,
Do you? I think Stu likes All-Star Weekend, but Jeff, do you like All-Star Weekend? You're not a basketball guy.
I'm not really. Listen, I was more of a basketball guy when I could watch it at home. In the last 3 years, I have not been able to watch it at home. So, I wasn't into it as football. I usually even at home, only watch basketball when the playoffs start. I believe when the playoffs starts, you get better games.
You do.
So that's when I watch. But I'm not really, up on what's going on with the All-Star and the new rules. So let me have it. Tell me
No,
what it's about.
I was just thinking in general because Stu, I know he's a basketball fanatic. I think me and you are on the same level of how much we like basketball.
well,
What do you think?
I am a traditionalist. I don't like the way the All-Star game is being done now, where you pick two guys and they pick their team.
Their team? Why not though?
I don't like it because the way basketball is set up is regional. I know they say it makes for an exciting game. You start to switch the teams up and stuff like that, but it's like the Olympics, anything else. It's about pride, and when people don't, when players don't compete,
Right.
it takes away from their pride. I know they did it in baseball. They did some things when whoever won the All-Star team, that team had home field advantage for the World Series.
Fact.
They try to make it competitive. I had a problem with that.
Really?
Yeah, because if we lost in the All-Star game, and I won 110 games, and I don't get home field advantage,
Yeah.
I got punished because we lost an exhibition game.
Right.
That meant nothing. I mean, when
But is there no merit to try to make it better?
it's not making it better, it's making it interesting.
Making it interesting. Okay.
Making it
Okay.
interesting is, I mean, really, what is an All-Star game? It is just an exhibition.
Right.
It's an exhibition.
Yeah, it is.
It's nothing more than that. You can't make it more competitive because it happens in the middle of a season. You got guys protecting themselves.
Facts.
You got individuals playing for bonuses. You got individuals, in the words of a great friend of mine, people that are seeking titles.
Facts.
And when you seek titles, and a title doesn't seek you, your intentions are less than honorable. So I don't put a whole lot of stock when they say 10-time All-Star, All-Pro. I believe that when you make the All-Star game, and y'all know how I feel about the All-Star games, you know how I feel about the Hall of Fame, because to me, it's showing your honor, what you've done as an individual, and then based on that, you should be granted that privilege or not. It should be bestowed upon you based on what you've done
Right.
on the nuclear level.
Right.
And when
Right,
you
right.
take that away from what you're trying to do, and it's about getting TV numbers, it's about stacking my team,
Right.
it's about all those other things, then you wind up getting what you get. You get guys chasing chips. You get guys sitting out. I don't want to get hurt. However, what I want to do is I want to get my stats up so I get my $200 million contract. And
But you understand though? You understand chasing the money?
I don't have a problem.
I'm
with
asking.
anybody.
Yeah,
I don't have.
yes,
I don't listen. I don't have a problem with anybody looking out for their families and putting themselves in the best position to take care of their families. However, I tell you what I do have a problem with. I do have a problem with an individual who does that for the sake of doing that and then try to compare himself to one of the greats because you lace them up. Years ago, dudes laced them up as a matter of pride because they loved it. Now, if they could have got the money, I know they would have done the same thing.
Same thing.
I know they would. I'm not listening. I'm not taking from that. I'm not taking away from any of that. But when you say that you're trying to become a champion,
Right.
and then you jump on a team with a guy that's already been a champion. All you've done was added to your legacy based on his resume.
What do you think about what Deion Sanders said when he said the NFL Hall of Fame has become too easy to get into?
I totally concur.
You think so?
Spoken from a person that's already in there.
Well,
Right, from a person, right. Yeah,
well, you talking about
absolutely.
listen, brother. You talking about
Hold it, bro. I mean, you got to think it like this. They ain't changed the rules to get in.
Right, they did,
Same
right.
rules that he did to get in.
Exactly.
So how is he going to say
Exactly.
that it's too easy to get into? Because, again, you probably damn near got the same people that's voting on it.
Right, right.
So how you gonna say it's too easy?
7909.
I understand we're talking about my man at 7909. I get that.
7909.
And listen, I don't think he deserved to be there. I don't.
Well,
But it's the same rules.
Same
man.
rules, yeah.
When he's saying that, he must be thinking of someone in particular.
Yeah.
Really. Because, he's just coming out with this.
Yeah.
And he must be thinking about a new class that's coming.
Absolutely.
well, I don't
we
even
don't
know.
know about.
Listen, I don't even know who's in the new class, but
No,
I
don't.
mean,
You can't be around the bush. You know who it is.
Who is it?
Eli Manning. Everybody wonder how's Eli Manning going to the? How's he a Hall of Famer?
he's top 10, ain't he?
No,
Is he top 10 in yards?
no. Oh, I don't know. I can't speak for his stats.
So yeah,
I can't speak for his stats, but he is not a Hall of Famer, bro. No heckin' way.
Eli, you don't think so?
Heck no.
Listen, man, here's the thing.
Heck no.
I'm not an Eli fan.
You gotta
I'm
give
not.
his props, man.
But listen,
No,
he got 2 chips. He got
I don't
the miracle catch on the
So,
helmet.
I don't.
So chips get you straight into the Hall of Fame now?
Well, he got
on,
what?
man.
Does he have the yard? I mean, does he have the passes or the yards?
Yes,
No.
yes, he does.
Heck no. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yes, he
Come
does.
on. Let's stop it.
He just did it ugly.
Oh.
You
He
did that?
Yeah,
just
it wasn't
did
pretty.
it ugly.
It wasn't.
pretty.
It wasn't. Listen, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't sexy.
Fair enough.
However, all he did was win chips. Put
That's-
up great numbers.
Facts.
But it was ugly. And then you look at a guy that did it beautifully and doesn't have one in a guy like Dan Marino.
He's in the hall though.
Yeah, he's in the hall.
But
Give Eli 5 more years and he going in the hall.
Hell no.
Well, listen, they're gonna put him in regardless
Yeah, regardless.
because he has most of the stats. They're gonna put him in.
And the right last name.
He has a perfect last name.
Stats mean a lot.
Can't get
guys.
much better.
Stats
And
mean a lot.
he has.
I agree.
What quarterback do you know? What
Stats
quarterback
mean
do
it
you
all.
know
I won't say
that
all, but it
has
means a lot.
2 rings but's not in the Hall of Fame? Do you know of one?
No.
They got to put him in.
Okay.
They got to put him in.
Trent Dilfer got one.
Okay,
They say Hall of Famer?
No, but I'm just saying he got
I
one.
said 2.
I just said he got
Shit,
one.
Man, we talking Trent Dilfer. Nigga.
Cigar,
I'm a
cigar.
Baltimore fan, so but either way. But,
Rodney, could you be of assistance, please?
so I got one other thing to ask you guys. Y'all my boxing guys. Right?
Okay.
Y'all boy Javante Davis. Tank!
What about him?
I'm fucking jail, man. Come on, man.
For what?
With girlfriend?
Domestic violence, man.
He talking about things from the game, right?
Yeah, he put hands on a woman.
That's what he say.
No, you
So-
saw it.
So he said.
He just gripped her up.
Oh, he just gripped.
I'm not encouraging. I don't encourage or
Bruh.
endorse anything like that. And you saying he our boy? He from your hometown, man. So don't try to pass him off on me.
I get
man.
that.
Yeah,
I get that.
exactly.
I get that.
Exactly. And listen,
I get that.
from the last fight I saw, he fell down a couple of ranks. Really, because he didn't really show me nothing. He had a guy that was in front of him that
Okay.
was 11 years his senior,
Okay.
and the guy also basically had one leg,
Okay.
and he couldn't take him out. Really, couldn't take him out at all. So,
Because he couldn't.
because he couldn't.
Couldn't.
And then after that, he probably was so frustrated, that's why he put his hands on the woman.
He a bum.
Really.
Let's just call it what it is, man. He's not really good.
Listen, I'm surprised to hear that from you. Why? Because we kept saying the verdict is still out on him.
Yeah, but why y'all giving so many verdicts? Man, he a bum.
Well, listen, he's 25 years old. He's just getting started. Now, he showed us that he doesn't have the tenure that we thought he had, but I wouldn't consider him a bum yet.
Bum.
You know why?
Why?
Because he has skill set and he can punch. Only thing they need to do now They teach him how to fight. That's it.
Bum.
We'll see. Well, if he don't
Bum.
get away from whatever this issue he is with this criminal issue he have now, then you won't see him anymore anyway.
Oh, you won't, yeah.
Now,
And it has happened to a lot of boxers.
Absolutely.
Getting back to the cigar, I think what I really liked about your description last time is you actually put a timestamp on it with morning or afternoon. I thought that's probably one of the classiest things that I've heard.
Right.
And one of the things that I really like about this particular cigar, as you said, is great for a novice,
Yes.
but an enthusiast can pull all the beautiful notes out of the cigar.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Little baking spice,
Absolutely.
little caramel, little. It's very woodsy, little nutty. You can pull all that out smoking the cigar. But as a beginner
Boy, you
or
in
a
your
novice,
shit today, boy.
you are going to get.
You said bacon spice, boy.
You are going to get some. I'll teach you about
a little anise or allspice or something like that.
As a beginner, you're going to get creamy. You're going to get very smooth.
Yep.
And you're going to get a little woody.
Now-
It's not going to be heavy at all.
Absolutely.
Now, not only that, I've had this one. You made this in the Lancero, didn't you?
Yes.
I remember the Lancero. You had a very limited run on the Lancero, all the way up to the 760,
Yes.
and I think that was the first. I think this was really the first cigar that I went the whole gamut from Lancero to the Toro,
Yes.
Sublimus,
Yep.
Churchill,
Yeah. Yeah.
Do it all.
760, and I believe you brought this out in a double Corona also. Did you do this
I
in
did
double
do a
Corona?
double Corona. We also have here in the shop a 6x60 torpedo,
The 6x60 torpedo. I remember doing all of them, and
which gives you a lot more flavor because it's going
man.
to give you a lot more filler. So yeah, I mean, this cigar has run the gamut in sizes, and everybody
Yes.
loves it.
Absolutely.
Everybody loves it. And again, you can get it at PearsonJeffries.com, or you can come here to 925 Providence Road in CKMPA and come to the Pearson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge, and you can actually have what we're smoking. You can have a cedar cigar and a cup of Bolivian coffee, which I think is a great pairing.
just don't try to do it after 7 o'clock
You're gonna
because he might be looking at you sideways.
Sideways.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Unless you say
But-
me, boy. If you stop telling, boy, you say my name, you in here, boy. I'm telling you, get free stuff.
I know we were just talking about boxing, but we got a big fight coming up, man, in heavyweight. You got Wilder
Absolutely.
and Tyson Fury doing a rematch.
Uh-huh.
Now you know what I feel about rematches, and you know how I feel about rematches. And the way that fight ended, basically, with that knockdown in the 12th round, it was perfect for a rematch. But you know what I feel is going to happen this time,
Man, y'all.
going into the rubber match. I
what?
believe
There
this
is
is
no-
the-
there is
Bomb
no
Squad.
Here it
I know.
come.
Yeah, Bomb Squad.
I believe that this is the fight that Wilder loses his title.
Boy, you smoking something.
And I believe that it's going to set up for a humongous rubber match.
You smoking something, boy. I'm
Yes,
telling you.
a
There's
beautiful
no
cedar
way in
cigar.
hell. There's no way in hell.
He's going to lose his
Wilder is
title.
going to lose this fight. There's
And
no
I'll
way.
predict that he's going to get knocked out. He's going to get knocked out. And they're going
Woo.
to set it up for such a humongous third fight that everybody's going to make a ton of money.
What do you think, Stu? That's a hell of a claim to say he gonna lose. That's a hell of a claim.
I would be surprised.
You know I'm gonna call you.
I would be surprised if Deontay Wilder loses. This is the first time I actually seen him focus as a professional. Now, hopefully, the only thing that really disappoints me with Deontay Wilder is I haven't seen him improve since the first time he got in the ring. He has gotten no better.
Y'all kill me with the improvements, man.
Believe it or
Kill
not,
me
though,
with the
I've
improvements.
actually seen him get a little better.
Bro.
I mean, when I first started watching Deontay Wilder, he was Deontay awful.
What up?
He was dog shit. That's what he was
Dog.
terrible. He was terrible.
Really?
He had no skill set, and only thing he could do was hit you with a big right hand. I've seen the man throw a right hand backwards.
Okay.
I've seen him hit you with the back of the glove. So when he first started, to me, my opinion, he was awful. So he's not awful anymore. He's just
enough.
bad. But he has a big right hand. And you know, in boxing, you can go a long way with a one hit.
One hit quitter.
There it is.
One hit quitter.
I think you're understatement big, but that motherfucker is huge. That
huge
motherfucker is huge.
But so was a lot of fighters, heavyweights that fought George Foreman and Mike Tyson. They were humongous. And most heavyweights in the beginning that fought Mike Tyson was bigger than him. And he chopped them down like trees.
Ain't none of them fight nobody with a hand like that.
And
Sure.
listen, hold on.
George
And
Foreman, Foreman had a bigger right hand than that.
Wilder has no chin.
You're crazy, man.
George Foreman had a bigger right hand than him. Ernie Shavers had a bigger right hand
Just
than
now,
him.
I'm gonna call both of y'all. I'm gonna send both of y'all a voice next.
You ain't gonna have to, man. We're
Bomb Squad. All right,
Listen, brother.
Bomb Squad. All right, I'm sending it to both of y'all.
Well, what you need to do, man, in my opinion, you need to watch some old fights because Stu is 1,000% right. There was nobody in the last 50 years has hit harder as a heavyweight than George Foreman.
Fair enough.
Nobody.
Yeah, I have no problem with Deontay Wilder's punching power, But when you talk about historically, George Foreman had a lot bigger right hand than he ever had.
Now, and just to say that we are not being biased.
Yes, y'all.
In George Foreman, at the beginning of his career, he couldn't fight either. He had bowling punches. He had a roundhouse right, roundhouse left, roundhouse right, roundhouse left. He would bounce over to you with his left foot forward, right foot back, and he would bounce over to you. Yes.
Like that.
That's exactly what he would do. He could not fight. But what did he have? He could kill you with one hand or both.
Right.
Ask Joe Frazier. Well, I'm sorry, Joe Frazier, rest in peace. But if you look at that fight, Joe Frazier got knocked down 6 times. One time he tried to run away. Hit him in the back of the head.
I disagree, but okay.
Well, that's because you haven't seen it.
Okay.
You haven't. I keep forgetting you 37.
I felt sorry for Joe Frazier.
Me too.
I felt sorry for him.
Nobody came to save him. And he wasn't going to give up at all. The last punch was a half hook, half uppercut in the corner, and the man was slouched down. One leg was underneath him. One leg was like he was sitting up in the crouch position, and he was asleep. That was the 6-1. But George Foreman fought better after a 10-year comeback.
Fair enough, man.
He couldn't fight in the beginning.
But
he was heavyweight champion of the world, just like Wilder.
What do you think about, and again, I'm going to say your bull, because it's y'all bull. What do you think about Trump's? He beat the case, man.
Did you not think that was going to happen?
I didn't know.
Yes, you did.
Honestly, I didn't know.
Yes, you did.
No, the only tell why I didn't know is because I didn't know that, I didn't know what impeachment entailed. So I honestly thought that there was a chance that he can get impeached.
He has been impeached.
Yeah.
He has been impeached. He hasn't been removed.
Yes.
What president do you know has been removed after they've been impeached?
Exactly. So why would anybody expect anybody
I think they've only removed one president.
Who's that?
In our lifetime.
Oh, not
who's that? Who's that?
I
I don't know.
It's
I forgot his name. But
Johnson?
Johnson or Jackson. One of them.
Jackson,
I forgot his name.
right, yeah.
But what did you think was going to happen? You got the Senate that controls everything.
Yeah, I didn't know, bro.
They have the majority.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Well, the removal process, the trial on the president, and I've never heard of anything like this. You basically had opening arguments,
Okay.
closing arguments,
Right.
and you call for the vote. There were no witnesses, and there was no evidence allowed to be presented against the accused.
You ever see that happen?
Have you heard of that happen?
No.
So
I personally haven't.
So what did you think was going to happen?
It's against the molecular fiber of
But I thought it would be some legitimacy to the trial.
You thought it was going to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I thought it was going to be fair.
Why?
Why wasn't it? It's America.
It's America.
Back to boxing.
Shit.
I believe
it's just supposed to be fair, man.
I believe the great Ice Cube, or was it Ice T? I believe it was Ice T had an album called The Freedom of Speech. Just watch what you say.
Okay.
Name of that album, and then the title of that album said it all. Do you think that the United States could have withstood as a nation built on what it's built on,
Right.
could withstand a president being removed in an election year?
Let me ask you this:
or even understood the fallout of it.
could the country withstand this? A president being removed, but yet able to run in the election again?
Yeah.
Because he could have ran
Yeah.
and then win.
How do you deal with that?
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with that.
Well,
I see what you're saying. Not necessarily agree or disagree, but I see what you're saying.
It's a very, very powerful.
It went exactly how it's supposed to go.
It would.
Right. It went how it was supposed to go.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It went exactly how it's supposed to go.
So
it had to go.
It's
there.
not even news.
what you think about freak? Well, all right.
It's not even news.
Rush Limbaugh got a Congressional Medal of Freedom. Rush Limbaugh.
Who is in the White House? Come on, man. You can't question these things.
Duh. How, dog?
You can't question these
Well,
things.
You got to. It has to be questioned, bro.
Okay.
It has to be questioned.
Maybe I changed my maybe you can question it, but why did you expect a different outcome? Why did something like that surprise you?
Well, let me ask you a question. When you get, I belong to organizations where honorariums are bestowed upon people, and the individual that's the head of that organization has the right to bestow that honorarium on certain people. Where I run into, where I start to question is, you can bestow honorarium on anybody.
Facts.
Who you feel like. However, when you try to legitimize that honorarium, then that's when I can question.
Okay.
Because now your record is put up to question. The President of the United States should just bestow the honorarium on him, and that's that. You don't have anything to say other than, I want him to have this.
Okay.
You know, that's it. Not because he's fought for freedom, not because it was equality, not because he was a responsible journalist, not because of anything other than, I wanted him to have that.
Is he still on the radio?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So Limbaugh's still on the radio?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
well, he got it because there's an election coming up and that he has a platform. Come on, man.
Fair enough.
Come on. You know,
Yes.
everybody got to pay.
Everybody
got to pay.
Everybody got to pay.
Everybody got to pay, man.
That don't make it right, man.
I ain't
Come
talking
on,
about right. I ain't
come
talking about
on, man.
Listen, I ain't talking about right or wrong. I'm telling you what is.
Listen,
what's not.
that man has said too many detrimental things to any, even on the foundational.
He has an audience.
Salt
He has an
of
audience.
what America. Like, come on, bro. This man has said some crazy shit.
He has an audience.
And he does. That's a fact.
And he wanted that award. In order to get that award, you know, election's coming up. That's all I'm saying.
What are you talking about? He's a confirmed drug abuser.
Absolutely.
He's
Drug abuser, racist, well, everything, bro.
Yep. And guess
All
what?
that.
When they tune in, they can tell you how many people are listening to his show.
That's a fact.
Yes.
And how many people continue to listen.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And he has an audience. That same audience that maybe the powers that be want when it'll come election day.
Facts.
And he can talk about now his Congressional Medal of Freedom on the air, which will bring him more
and that's what I hate.
Citizens.
Absolutely. And
More,
that's what I hate.
hold it. More military people that are, you know, that bring him more, bro.
Don't even get me started on the military, bro.
Okay.
Because, you know, in today,
we love the military. We thank you for your service.
absolutely. No, when I say don't get me started on the military, it just takes me to our president because everybody said they love the military, they loved it, but this man came out and said, I don't like the ones that got caught.
They were cowards.
They were cowards.
I know. I remember that.
However, you love the military. Come on, my
He was
guy.
campaigning. You understand that everything goes, it's like love and war, man. Everything goes. Everything goes when
I
you're
guess
campaigning.
there's no love in war.
I'm trying to tell you how this works. There's no rules when it comes to campaigning.
There's no rules in campaigning.
Everything goes, man.
It gotta be some rules, baby.
There's no rules.
It gotta be rules when you campaigning, baby.
What I'm seeing, I'm sitting here, and I've been sitting here, and we've been talking about this for about 10 minutes. I haven't seen you take a draw on that cigar. And I'm anxious to see, because you almost halfway through, seems like.
I think I done now smoked both of y'all.
Say again?
I think I outsmoked both of y'all.
No, brother.
I'm at a good point.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I guess I'm the one that's the slowest one because I like to savor my cigars. I like to taste every draw. I don't want to just, smoke to be smoking. That's a waste of time for me. Not saying that's what y'all do.
That's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. Not saying that's what y'all do. But this cedar is so great.
The cedar is good, bro.
It's the coffee is backing it up flavor-wise because for me it's a little light for this time of the evening. But the coffee is backing it up great. But it's a great morning and afternoon cigar. And again, you can get this cigar at PearsonJeffries.com, or you can come here to the shop at 925 Providence Road in Seacane. Come to Pearson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge, and you can get this cedar cigar. Buy a 5-pack. You will love it. You will love it. And if you come to the shop and you mention Smooth, you will get an additional 10% off the 5-pack of this cigar.
Word.
Now, today earlier, man, we were talking about the tragedies that's happening in the Mississippi correctional facility.
Yes.
I think you told us earlier that there have been how many deaths over a week?
In a month.
In a month?
There's been 12 deaths in a month.
12 deaths in a month. Now, there's something that came up in our discussion when we were talking about, something has to be done. But you and I, because we're not in the business of corrections, didn't even think about why this was actually happening. We're just thinking that it is happening and something has to be done. But Big Smoke here enlightened me, and the first thing he said, because it's what he does, is there's a gang war, which I didn't even think. And if you think gang war, and you got everybody, in this small area, small based upon the amount of people that's there, this type of shit probably happens more often than we think. We just don't hear about it.
Right? Basically. Yeah, absolutely.
But I would like to hear, give you guys just some thoughts, some professional thoughts on why some of these things happen in the prison system that we as citizens don't even think about.
Facts.
I'm gonna lean it over to Big Smoke, basically.
Well, it's definitely sad what's happening in Mississippi. More so on the state level and the local level as opposed to the federal level. In the federal situation, you have people from all over the place.
Right.
They could be from all over the country. You put them in one place, and there's not as much friction because it's not too many people from one area concentrated in one situation. You put somebody in the state system, and I don't know how many institutions that Mississippi has, because I know Mississippi is a poor state.
Right.
So if they don't have too many institutions where they can spread out people and kind of control some of the activity. Once you get people in a smaller area, and then you get people from certain areas, and then they click up. Once these people click up, and there's any kind of rift, not only within that particular setting, but also out on the streets or wherever, it comes into an area where they have no freedom to roam, and they got to deal with it the way they have to deal with it. So imagine if you're not getting along with your loved one and you're living in the same house. You have the ability to move to another room in the house. Right. You go upstairs and you can separate from each other. They do not
or you can leave.
Or you
can leave.
Facts, yeah.
They do not have the privilege or the opportunity to leave. So it puts them in a very, very hostile and very, very bad environment. And
well, here's a question for you, Big Smoke. Here's a question for you. I know that you're probably dealing with people, and I'm guessing, but you're dealing with people that their conflict resolution is on the lower end, basically.
Facts.
Correct.
They are in a facility where they might be, like you said, might be part of this gang, and they're close with these people, part of this gang, and they can't get away.
They can't get away.
Is there any? I wouldn't even say resolution. Is there, in your opinion, is there a better way?
As far as
well,
do you mean from a staff point of view? You mean from an inmate?
I don't mean the staff point of view, because I believe that you guys are doing the best that you can do based on the guidelines that you have.
Well,
so?
First of all, in order for you to know what's going on, they have to download that information onto you, and you may not know what's going on in the street. You may not know what's going on.
Right.
And if somebody has to tell you what's going on, and you have to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And then you got to find out who the players are, because who you might think a player is, he might be working through somebody else.
Right.
Or a player could be working from another place altogether differently. There are a lot of different motivations. And like Jeff said, when they cope poorly, they have poor coping mechanisms, and they have poor impulse control.
Yeah.
And they're very, very frustrated. There's some place that they don't want to be. Being told by people who they don't respect is just it's a high stress, abnormal, unnatural situation. And you just do the best that you can working within it.
But none of that situation can be natural. I mean, no matter what, it's all going to be unnatural. You're in jail at the end of the day.
Listen, man, in my opinion, and this is I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're not.
But in my opinion, captivity alone is unnatural.
Absolutely.
I concur.
Absolutely.
I concur.
Absolutely.
Any type of captivity, whether it be male, female, or even animals, is unnatural. So you're going to get a different environment in general. You got and we'll go from a standpoint of animals, because I don't even want to get into men.
I know what you're saying, bro.
But if you take an animal that's been running in the wild, and you got an animal that's been contained, same amount of time, you're going to get two different animals.
Yeah, behavior is different.
Behavior is totally different, and it's only different because of captivity. So it's unnatural to me.
Now this is Big Smoke.
Citizen Big Smoke.
Well, professional Big Smoke is totally different.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay. And listen, I want to talk to Citizen Big Smoke, because I don't want any issues with that. I don't want
my employer
to have any issues.
With my employer, because any views that I express is totally mine and not that of my employer.
Yeah.
Great. I'm glad you said it.
Absolutely.
Because I'm trying to beat around the bush in terms of what I'm asking. Because I don't want issues.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
With that being said, and me prefacing my statement, in order for it to be calmed down or quelled, basically martial law would have to be put down.
Gotcha.
Really?
I'm talking about within that institution. Within that institution, and you talking about
that's big though.
That's huge.
That's huge, bro.
That's huge. And I'm not talking about within somebody had to come in. I'm talking about they would basically have to lock it down.
Yeah.
And move them in a controlled setting.
Yep.
And it would cost an exorbitant amount of money, because you would have to move people 2-on-1. Yeah. It would have to be a totally controlled. You had to feed them in their cell.
Right.
Then you would have to do intense interviews. The intelligence gathering commissioned officer, and he would have to bring in quite a few help, and he would have to interview people, find out who those people are, and then he would have to basically take those people and ship them to other states.
Gotcha.
Now, what would happen when you ship those people to other states is now you're putting a burden on your loved one to come see you.
See, gotcha.
Well, here's a question for you. And when we're dealing with that, you're talking about if you have, different sets in the prison, you have to deal with, if you're going to do martial law, the people that's running that type of corrections at that time, they're only dealing with the people that are running those different sets, correct? And if you take those people and ship them out to different prisons to try to break that up. Aren't they
Citizen Mike Stewart would tell you this: if you got any kind of problem with anybody doing anything, related or unrelated, they got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to talking about this cigar because
Facts.
I don't want my man.
Well,
Big Smoke here to have no issue.
I do got one.
At all.
It actually wouldn't be an issue because what you're doing is you're trying to reinforce a type of behavior.
Well, I'm trying to understand it from the standpoint of
Okay.
even shipping out someone to another facility. Wouldn't they, because they run that facility and that set,
No,
go to another
brother.
facility?
I said
And do the
another
same
state.
thing?
I said another state.
Oh, no,
Okay.
Okay.
So you would move them. Let's say they're in Mississippi. You would move them to Georgia.
Understand.
You're moving to Minnesota. You were moving to Connecticut.
You can do that even though it's not federal or state?
Yes, some states have reciprocal agreements
Okay.
where I'll send you my problem, I'll take yours, and what
I
winds up
understand.
happening is that individual's now playing a road game.
Right.
I get it.
That individual's now playing a road game, and the tone and the tenor has already been set because now, where it might have took your mama 2 hours to come see you, now it's a 3-4 day.
Now it's a plane ride.
Now it's a plane ride or a bus trip that's going to take you a week to get there, and that discourages. And once the other individuals there see that, because now the only support and lifeline that they got is those people at home,
Right.
and now you've already put them, being in your situation, you've already put them through all kind of changes,
Facts.
and you've let them down. And you're right there internally dealing with that all day long because all you've done is mess up. And now what you're going to do is put an undue burden on them, time-wise, emotionally, and financially.
And financially, yeah.
You know, and a lot of these people are on assistance from the beginning. Now to come see Bebe or Tide Money.
Yeah.
It is now a like the Tide Money.
Nigga said Tide Money.
Yeah, you see Tide Money. It is now gonna cost her about $800 because now she got to pay for a hotel stay, and depending on visiting regulations, because I know some visiting regulations, they might not visit on Tuesday or Wednesday, so now it becomes really a burden. I'm talking about a burden
A serious burden.
a serious burden.
And now you have to be able to afford it.
Now you got to be able to afford it.
You're talking about a emotional burden, a financial burden now.
Right, where your mother used to come and see you once a week, now she might only be able to see you once a year.
Absolutely.
And she's the only one that you could count on.
And all this
this
is
time.
done as an element of control.
It's all that
the Department of Corrections is based on reinforcing and correcting improper behavior. So you take from that what you want to take from it, my brother.
I understand.
Before we go to the next topic, what are y'all smoking, man? How y'all feeling?
Listen, the Cedar is a couple of weeks ago we did a podcast and we smoked the Cuban Shade.
Yes.
Now the Cuban Shade, actually, believe it or not, is a little heavier than this. Still Connecticut, but it's a little heavier.
I was gonna say, don't hurt my feelings now, because you know how I feel about that Cuban Shade.
Well, this is actually a little smoother. It's a little bit more fluent on the palate. I get a little bit more of a almost a buttery taste toward the center of this cigar, and I think it's also coming from the Bolivian coffee.
Yep.
But again, we here at Pearson Jeffries at 925 Providence Road, Seacane, PA. You can come and get this cigar at any time. They're always here. And you can go to PearsonJeffries.com and pick up a 5-pack. You will enjoy this cigar so much.
In the words of the great Keenan Ivory Wayans. Message.
Absolutely.
Through that all, bro, we got, time's running down. I do have one question I want to hear your opinion on.
Okay.
We were talking about Kobe. And I'm asking this, I'll preface it pisses me off. How do you feel about people bringing up Kobe's past transgressions as far as the sexual assault go now that the man's dead?
Well, I got to look at it like this. In my opinion, the man was great. Only his goodness is the good things that he did is not the only things that made him great.
Fact.
You got to take the good with the bad. He was human, just
Right.
like all of us. Everybody makes mistakes, and
Right.
now that he's no longer here, if you can't get pissed off at people when they talk about the greatness of Kobe, and they also talk about his indiscretions, because that was him.
But to me, to bring up the indiscretions, you should, if you're going to bring it up, you should tell the whole story. You should tell the whole story to say he got charged with sexual assault, but you should still also bring up that, and this is not to take nothing away from the young lady, but when she got her rape kit, she had other semen in her panties.
I understand.
Like, everything has to be brought up. Don't just come up and say he got sexual assault and that's it. It has to be. Everything has to be in context.
Everybody that heard the story also knows that she wasn't a saint.
Listen,
We're gonna leave it as she wasn't a saint.
Facts.
I respect Kobe Bryant as what's his name, and there was a couple other than that accusation.
Oh, for sure.
There was also during that particular adjudication of those charges, he also came out and started snitching on
Absolutely.
on a player that had nothing to do
with it. Absolutely.
Had nothing to do
absolutely
with that right there.
Absolutely.
And he also, when he was in Philadelphia recording a rap record, and a young man was charged with a crime, and Kobe was his alibi witness, Mr. Bryant refused to come and testify on that young man's behalf.
I have no problem with you.
And that young man,
no problem with that.
Because he wanted to separate himself from any kind of trouble,
right
after that particular stand. So I mean,
I have no problems of anybody telling the whole story.
Correct.
For Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely.
It's just that people feel as though right now, because he's no longer here, it might be in bad taste.
But it is in bad taste.
Well, that's an opinion.
If someone's not there to defend themselves.
Well, you don't have to defend yourself. That's in the past. It happened, and we can pull it up. You got things that are factual. So,
right. But you also have things that aren't factual.
Well, you're always going to have some things that aren't factual.
All right.
But since he's no longer here, people feel as though right now it's in bad taste. You got to understand, human nature. Human nature.
Brothers, I like to say this.
Because it was such a tragedy, they want to still feel sorry, and they want to say everything that was good about Mr. Bryant. I have no problems with that.
No, absolutely.
None.
But what I'll just say is this. When I go, y'all motherfuckers better not let nobody talk shit about me.
You know what I'm going to say to that? I'm going to say, okay.
No, man. At the end of the day, man, when somebody's not there, to me, when someone's not there to defend themselves, it should just be deaded. I don't give a fuck what it is. Just if that person isn't there to defend themselves, you gain nothing by shitting on that person. Period.
And finish up with this one statement. Go ahead and say my favorite 3 words.
In my opinion. Absolutely. In my opinion.
Go. In your opinion.
Yes.
A lot of people don't feel the same way.
I'm going to tell my wife, watch y'all motherfuckers when I die.
That's all right. Really? How much time we got left, Ray?
Oh, that's it, bro.
That's it?
3 minutes?
3 minutes?
Good shit.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that, again, come to Pearson Jeffries at 925 Providence Road.
Word.
Pick up the Cedar Cigar. You'll love it. Go to PearsonJeffries.com. Get a 5-pack. If smoke them if you got them. If you don't have them, we have them, so come and get them.
Could you spell Pearson Jeffries?
I can definitely
that nigga
Pearson
can't spell.
Jeffries. It is PIERSONGEOFFREYS.
Call him Geoff. Geoff.
Everybody enjoy your evening.
The Chimney Effect has been a presentation of Pearson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge, located at 925 Providence Road in Seacane, Pennsylvania. You can also find us online at PearsonJeffries.com.